close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I filmed a tutorial on a look that I've gotten so many requests to do. It's actually the makeup that I was wearing in my haul video, of course with a different lip color. So it looks a lot different now than it did in that video. But I've worn this look on Snapchat, and even when I wore it then, I got so many requests to film a tutorial on it because it's seriously so beautiful. And I use the beautiful Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. You guys know that I'm obsessed with this palette. It's so versatile, and these are some of the most pigmented shadows ever. Even more so than her previous palettes or the single shadows that I have a lot of in my Z palette. This palette, you guys, so good. I think it's sold out everywhere right now, but I'll leave a link down below if I can find it anywhere where it's still in stock, because you guys have to have this palette. It's gorgeous. But anyway, if you guys are interested in seeing this look that I created with the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, then just keep watching. Okay guys, so we're going to start with a clean prep face, and I'm going to take the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer and just apply this on my chin and around my nose. This does such a good job at keeping me matte, and I don't put on makeup without using this primer first. Next, I'm going to take the NYX Angel Veil and just apply this on the outer perimeters of my face that are more normal skin type. A little of this goes a long way, so you don't need a ton or else it will be a mess. And for our foundation today, I'm going to take the Loreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade 205, and I'm just going to dot that all over my face and neck and then blend that in with my Morphe G6 foundation brush. This foundation brush is so good. I almost love it as much as my Sigma E40, but not quite. I'm just going to take that and buff it all in to make sure it's very blended. And if you guys have not noticed yet, this entire video is in real time. So I get a lot of questions about how long it takes me to blend out not only my eyeshadow, but also my face products. So I wanted to leave everything in the video for you guys to see. Now moving on to our under eyes, I'm going to take another product that I absolutely cannot live without, and this is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I can tell the biggest difference when I don't use this. For example, I filmed an affordable back to school makeup look and I didn't get to use this, and my eyes didn't look near as smooth and flawless and awake. So it is like a game changer for me. So I'm just going to apply that with my ring finger right underneath my eyes, and you need the smallest amount. Now going in with another favorite, I'm going to take the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium and just apply this underneath my eyes, a little bit on the bridge of my nose and underneath my nose, and also on the center of my chin. Now as you can see, I'm going to go in and blend out as much of the concealer as I can with the doe foot applicator, just because when I go in with a damp sponge, or if you were to use a brush, you're going to soak up a lot of product and lose a lot of coverage if you don't try to blend it out yourself first. And then as always, I'm just going to take a dampened sponge and just go over the areas that I apply the concealer and make sure that they're blended out. And then I'm also going to run that over my eyelid to conceal any discoloration or veins and also prep for eyeshadow. Then taking my Maybelline Translucent Finishing Veil, I'm going to bake my under eye. And first I'm going to blend out my concealer with the damp sponge again, just to make sure I don't have any creases. And then I'm going to take a disposable cosmetic sponge and a generous amount of the powder and just place that right underneath my eye. Then I'm going to take my e.l.f. small taper brush and that same powder and just set my lids. This is going to help a lot with the eyeshadow process, just because it's easier to blend powder over powder rather than powder over still damp foundation and concealer. And to help control oil, I'm just going to take the Laura Mercier translucent powder and bake my chin and on my nose using that same disposable cosmetic sponge. This is another step and another product that I cannot live without in my makeup routine, just because it makes the biggest difference. If you guys are oily, I would definitely recommend this powder. Even though it is a little bit pricey, it's definitely worth the money. Then using that same small taper brush from e.l.f., I'm just going to wipe off my under eye bakage, and then we're going to move on to our contour. So I'm going to take the Kat Von D Shade Light palette and use that center shade on a Sigma F05, which is my holy grail contouring brush. And I'm just going to use light upward strokes to make sure that everything is really nice and blended.
I don't wanna waste what's left.
Then with no additional product, I'm just going to take that same Sigma F05 and just run that down the sides of my nose to contour my nose a little bit. Then to bronze, I'm going to take Matte Give Me Sun on my Sonia Kashuk 125 brush and just bronze up my forehead. Using ColourPop Black and Brown Gel Pot, I did my brows off camera. And then I'm going to wipe off my chin and nose bakage with that same e.l.f. brush. And then we're going to start on the eyes. So taking the gorgeous Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to go in with the shade Golden Ochre as my transition, and I'm going to take that on my Morphe M502 brush and just work that into my crease with windshield wiper motions. Again, everything is in real time, so just bear with me on all the blending because I did go back into some of the shades like 3 and 4 times, but I wanted to show you guys how I did the look in its entirety. So now going back into the eyeshadow palette, I'm going to take the shade Burnt Orange on that same Morphe M502 and also apply that into my crease. It's always best to start lower down onto your lid and work it up into your crease. That way you don't get too high up and it doesn't get too messy. Now I'm going to take the shade Love Letter, which is basically the star of the show, and I'm going to take that on my Sigma E25. And I'm going to take that same pat and drag motion that I've talked about in some of my other tutorials, where you just take the color, pat it onto your lid, and then start blending it out. And this is going to keep it from getting messy, especially with such a bright pigmented shadow like this one. And now I'm going to show you guys another technique that I find very helpful whenever I'm blending out eyeshadow. So I'm going to take that same Morphe M502 in the shade Realgar from the palette, and I'm only going to dip the bottom half of my brush into the eyeshadow. What this is going to do is just, again, ensure that we don't get too high up into the crease and that the colors don't get too messy. So if you're a beginner, this is going to be a really huge step for you and a really good trick to use. That way you don't have to worry about getting too high up into your crease and it's starting to look really crazy. So make sure you dip only the bottom half of the brush into your palette and then apply it directly onto your eyes. So now taking the same Sigma E25 and the shade Love Letter from the palette, I'm just going to go back in and build up that intensity. This brush is so good, it gets the job done because it's really precise, but you can also blend very well with it. So I absolutely love this brush. And before we move on to the lid, I'm going to take that same Morphe M502 brush with no additional product and just blend, 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 make sure that everything is really seamless. Now taking MAC Mixing Medium, I'm going to take a small amount of that on my finger and just apply that onto my lid. And then we're going to go in with the shade Outer Limits from Nars, which is limited edition, but it's a beautiful like peachy pink with pink shimmer. And it's very messy for me because my lids are hooded, but it is so, so pretty and it really completes this look. And as always, I'm applying my lid shade with my finger just because I get the most color payoff this way and also the least amount of fallout. Now this is very glittery, so I had glitter all over my face, but for any other shimmer shadow, this works so, so well for me, better than any brush. And now I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit with a Q-tip because like I said, it was a mess, but so, so pretty. And now to clean up my brow bone just a little bit, I'm going to take the shade Tempera on a brush and just press that right up against my brows. Then taking that same Morphe M502 with no additional product, I just want to make sure that our crease shades and that brow bone highlight is not too harsh. So I'm just going to blend those together. And then I'm going to take Burnt Orange on my pencil brush and start working that onto my lower lash line to tie everything together. Now I'm going to take the shade Venetian Red from the palette and that same pencil brush and also apply that onto my lower lash line. My love for this palette is way too real. These eyeshadows are so vibrant and pigmented and I love all of the shades in here. And now going back into the palette, I'm going to take the shade Love Letter on the same Sigma E25 brush that we've been using and just make sure that that's as intense as it can possibly be.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go.
So we're just going to blend, 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 and blend some more, and then I'm actually going to go back into the palette again and take the shade Realgar on that same Morphe M502 and just really make sure that's very blown out and intensified. Now for whatever reason, the lighting, my camera, something just wasn't cooperating with me here and it doesn't look very blended. It kind of just looks like a hot pink blob, but in person it was so pretty, so blown out and flawless. And so make sure you guys really blend so that it doesn't look crazy on you like it does right here. But this look was way too pretty not to put up, so we're just gonna look past it. And now moving back onto the lid, I wanted to intensify it a little bit more, so I'm going to take the Lit Cosmetics glitter glue and that same Nars Outer Limits shadow and just apply a little bit more of that with my finger.
Fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.
And then I applied a pair of falsies off camera and my wing liner off camera using the Balm Schwing eyeliner and the Ardell Wisipies lashes. And then I'm just going to apply my favorite brown eyeliner into my waterline, and this is ColourPop Brew-haha. And then I'm just going to apply a coat of mascara to my bottom lashes. And then using my favorite inner corner highlight from ColourPop, I'm going to take the shade Girly and just pop that onto my inner corner with my finger. Now moving back onto the face, I'm going to take my favorite blush of all time, and this is Milani Rose D'Oro. I wear this in almost every video and almost every day in real life. And I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk number 24 blush brush and just pop that onto the apples of my cheeks and the center of my nose. And then for some additional bronzing, I'm going to take the Fit Me powder in the shade Brew 55 and that same Sonia Kashuk bronzing brush that I used before and just apply that onto my forehead. And now I'm just going to go back in with that same damp sponge as always and just clean up my contour a little bit. And then to highlight, I'm going to take my Morphe M501 brush and the Sephora Universal Trio and just apply that onto the high points of my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, and then also on the tip of my nose. And moving on to our lips, I'm going to wipe off my excess chapstick as always, and then I'm going to take the shade Catnip from Anastasia Beverly Hills and just apply this all over my lips. Of course, the thinner layer the better, so I'm only going to dip into the product one time and just spread that evenly over my lips. This is going to keep it from crumbling and cracking and feeling extra drying. So if you have issues with your liquid lipsticks, make sure to use the least amount possible. And then I'm going to take the Boscia White Charcoal Makeup Setting Spray and the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and just mix those two together to give myself a nice little setting spray shower. And then I'm going to set my eyebrows using the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, and then that will complete this makeup look. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hope you recreate this look because you will love it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!